Hello there, Dublin fans. Gregor here for CregorNews.com. Here I am heading down Nassau Street, heading for Merrion Square, one of the fine Georgian squares here in Dublin. I just started out there at the bottom of Dawson Street, heading down here now, South Leinster Street, or heading down Nassau Street onto South Leinster Street. All Trinity College is on my left here. The cricket ground is just over the railings there. Some of the newer buildings. There's the Tanta Centre here on the right, the Kilkenny design. A lot of coaches parked their bus here for the day, let the tourists out around the city. Let them run amok. Pick them up then in the evening. The right turn here now, that'll be for Kildare Street. Off up towards Tall Erin and that. There we are, plenty of Dublin bikes available this afternoon. We come down now. We're on to South Leinster Street here at this point. A couple of the newer buildings there as well. Still some Georgian architecture around. Coming up here now, this is the entrance to the National Gallery. This is the entrance, this is a new entrance. 2002 it was part of the Millennium Wing. The gallery itself, its original entrance is around on Kildare Street on Merrion Square. We'll be having a look at that shortly. This is Clare Street then. Another street, a lot of offices, Dublin Chamber of Commerce, stuff like that. Used to be a great bookshop in there. It's gone by the wayside greens. Used to have the books set out on stalls outside. Get some second hand ones. So here we are, we're on to Merrion Square. Number one there, the first stop. Oscar Wilde used to live there. It's now the American College in Dublin. And you can just see where the statue is. There should be a statue of Oscar Wilde just over there somewhere, looking out onto his house. Bit of undergrowth filled it in. You can see now the buildings. This is one of the finest examples. Don't know what's going on today, there's a lot more buses around. See, still there has the balconies and all. But yeah, this was it was one of the first Georgian squares built on the south side of the city, and they originally planned to make the monument to the Duke of Wellington in there, but the residents at the time objected, so that ended up in the Phoenix Park. Plenty of famous people have lived on Merrion Square over the years. This is the north side of the square as I'm heading down. You can see there, beautiful Georgian architecture. Here's another couple of buildings with that balcony still intact and all as they go up. The National Maternity Hospital, Hollis Street, is just into your left here. We're going to go right, we're going to go all the way around the square. If you were to head on down, that bring you on to Lower Mount Street, bring you out towards Balls Bridge and the RDS. That's the National Maternity Hospital there on the left. So we're right and we're on the east side of the square here, and just a few doors up, number 39. Here we are here now. The British Embassy used to be there, but after Sunday Bloody Sunday, 20,000 people converged on it and burnt the place to the ground. They managed to keep the facade, but they had to move the embassy out to Balls Bridge, more secure location. The Irish Architectural Society. Fitzwilliam Street is on, and heading on up towards Fitzwilliam Square is on up ahead there. Now the ESB, they knocked down all these buildings to build their head office in the 60s, but there's a Georgian House Museum on the corner there. You can go in, see what it used to be like to be living in Georgian Dublin at the time. We're on to the south side. There's an art sale once a month here, where artists come along, hang their pictures on the railings there, and you can buy them from them. Number 58, Daniel O'Connell used to live in here. That's the house there, now the Notre Dame Centre. Not too sure what that is. see there now, lovely. Looking well. The Georgian architecture. A lot more buses here. There's obviously something on around town today. I know the Eucharistic Congress was here in the weekend. It's hardly a overspill from that. And there was one by the Pembroke Estate here, the park, the actual square itself. It is a park in there. And in 1930 they handed it over to the church. And they wanted to build a cathedral on it, Dublin's main cathedral. But they never actually managed to get that project off the ground. So in 1974, Archbishop Ryan handed it over to Dublin Corpo to be used as a park. And it was actually named Archbishop Ryan Park for a long time. His name turned up in a report on Kitty Fillon. So it's now called Merrion Square since 2010. Here we are, number 82 on the left here. And W.B. Yeats himself, the poet and the playwright, he used to live in this house. Famous for his paintings. I think the Liffey Swim might be one of his. As we come up here now, and Leinster House is going to be right in front of us as we finish. This is one of the lovely doors here on just look at that door there. Donica Abu Khalai, he's a solicitor. That door is celebrating Dublin as the city of culture in 1991. Looks marvellous. Now we're out onto the west side of Merrion Square here, and we just nip across. Now, if you can see in there past the railings, that used to be Kildare House. When John Fitzgerald, who was the Earl of Kildare, he built it. And at the time, all the Georgian squares were over the north side. Rutland Square, now called Parnell Square, Mountjoy Square. Everyone lived on the north side, but he figured if he built this, people would come across to the south side. And they did indeed. And they ended up building Merrion Square and then Fitzwilliam Square after that. And he got promotion then, and he was made the Duke of Leinster, so he renamed the house Leinster House. You can see there's a cenotaph in the middle. You can only see it from one angle here. There used to be a statue of Prince Albert there. He had an exhibition here in the 1800s, but they moved that off to the side. Not too fond of imperial monuments after the founding of the state here. So that cenotaph, that celebrates the life of Michael O'Higgins, of Kevin O'Higgins, Michael Collins and Arthur Griffith. Come on down a bit further now. We have the front gates of the National Gallery here. You can see there's no shortage of bikes. Great spot for a picnic as well, you know, if you, on the summer's day. Now this is the main entrance to the gallery. It's obviously been redone here at the moment. So they want you to enter via Clare Street. But the gallery itself is there since the 1700s as well. 1864, sorry, it was first opened to the public. And then it's had various wings added on. So that's the rest of the square here. We're just going to nip across here, see can we get into the Oscar Wilde monument. We're into the park here now. Couple of statues there. Here we are. Here's the statue of here's Oscar Wilde himself. Used to be able to see that from outside, but the undergrowth was growing up. Only dull people are brilliant at breakfast. They obviously have a few quotes from him there. I brought a few with me as well, of course. Consistency is the last refuge of the unimaginative. And genius is born, not paid. So, that's Oscar Wilde. That's Dublin. It's been Cragar for CragarNews.com.